1122. It is an act authorizing the City of Boston to grant one additional license for the sale of alcoholic beverages to be drunk on the premises. This hearing is being streamed on Boston City Council TV. Online is also being recorded and will be broadcast on Comcast Channel 8, RCN Channel 82, and Verizon 1964 at a later date. Docket 1122 was sponsored by my friend and colleague, City Councilor Mark Siomo. It was assigned to the committee back on July 31st of 2019. This home rule petition would allow the City of Boston to grant one additional license for the sale of all alcoholic beverages to the Charles River Speedway Administration Building. This license is restricted to the Charles River Speedway Administration Building and is non-transferable to locations outside of the Charles River Speedway Administration Building development. The City of Boston needs state approval in order to grant additional liquor licenses because there is a cap under state law, which is outlined by Chapter 138 of the Mass General Laws. Today we have with us Kara Anderson, Senior Project Manager and Director of Preservation from the Architectural Heritage Foundation. And at this time, I'd like to turn it over to the lead sponsor, City Councilor Mark Siomo. We've also been joined by my colleague, City Councilor Tim McCarthy. Other colleagues may come in from time to time. So without further ado, Chair recognizes Councilor Siomo for a brief introduction.
I just want to thank you, Mr. Chairman, for taking the time today to hear this important development in our neighborhood. It's a site that has been pretty much dilapidated for my entire life, which is a long time now. And we're looking forward to releasing this liquor license that will help with the viability of the site. So thanks again to you and Councilor McCarthy for being here.
Right. Councilor McCarthy, any openings, waiving openings? So at this time, I'd just like to introduce Kara Anderson, Senior Project Manager and Director of Preservation, the Architectural Heritage Foundation. And maybe just give us a background about the Architectural Heritage Foundation and sort of why this is an important issue for you folks, and then we'll have a couple questions from the panel.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Councilor Flaherty and members of the committee for the opportunity to be here today to speak in support of the petition for a liquor license at the Charles River Speedway project in Brighton. I'd also like to thank Councilor Siomo for his leadership over the years and for his leadership in filing this petition. This is really truly a public and private partnership between Architectural Heritage Foundation, the city, and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And so I'd like to thank Representative Michael Moran as well for his assistance and leadership on this. My name is Kara Anderson, and I'm here representing the Architectural Heritage Foundation. We are a Boston-based 501c3 not-for-profit that was formed in the late 1960s to help save local architectural icons such as Old City Hall. We were the long-term stewards of Old City Hall through a long-term lease administered by the BPDA until recently, and we are dedicated to the preservation and economic sustainability of historic resources within our communities. We are a mission-driven organization, and oftentimes our role, such as it is with the Speedway, is to step into complicated and long-term projects where conventional developers might turn away. The Charles River Speedway headquarters, located at the junction of Western Avenue and Soldiers Field Road, is indeed a complicated project that has a unique place within local and regional history. It was built in 1899 as the companion building for a mile-long horse and buggy racetrack that was the centerpiece of the larger Olmsted-designed Charles River Reservation, which is credited as the first public park system in the United States. Made up of 6 contiguous buildings built around a courtyard, the Speedway has had many uses over the years, including housing the superintendent of the park system, stabling horses and cows, and serving as an MDC police station. Now under the purview of the Department of Conservation and Recreation, the site has been vacant for years, and while it's been monitored and minimally maintained, it has fallen into a serious state of disrepair. It is in need of full restoration or it will be lost. Recognizing the Speedway as a cherished community resource but not having the capacity to allocate the necessary funding to preserve it, DCR, after a long community process, put the project out to public RFP in 2013. AHF was one of 6 respondents, and in 2014 we were designated as developers. In that same year, under the leadership of Representative Michael Moran, and with the support of the community, enabling legislation was passed formalizing AHF as the developer and codifying the parameters under which this redevelopment project would be carried out. AHF will enter into a long-term lease for the Speedway through DCR's Historic Curatorship Program, and we will deliver to the community a revitalized Speedway that is truly open to the public and that will reconnect this corner of Brighton to the river and the full amenities of the Charles River Reservation. Our redevelopment plan will involve the full restoration of all of the Speedway buildings into a vibrant community gathering place that will be anchored by a restaurant, a tap room, and the courtyard itself. The renovated Speedway will also include the conversion of former horse stables into artisan workshops and retail bays, which will create opportunities for local vendors to connect with the community. The former superintendent's residence will become office space and will include space reserved for a Brighton-based not-for-profit for $1 per year annual rent. All of this will be centered around an incredibly unique interior courtyard, and the Speedway will become a welcoming space for the community to gather, eat, drink, shop, and connect. The Speedway is located in a part of Boston that is experiencing rapid growth and change, and we see the Speedway as both a counterbalance and complement to that growth. We will restore a cherished community resource and connection to the past while answering existing and new demand for amenities and services along the Western Avenue corridor, including the newly opened 170-unit residential building directly across the street. We are within very close proximity of several major proposed new developments and are a 10-minute walk from Boston Landing. We are well poised to serve the longstanding members of the Allston-Brighton communities as well as the new demand in this transforming neighborhood. The challenges of redeveloping deteriorated historic structures with a relatively small footprint are challenging. This is a small project with the potential for large impact, but the costs are high. The benefits of assigning a liquor license to the project would be enormous and would position AHF to be able to attract a high-quality restaurant vendor that will serve the community and be an anchor for all of our tenants and visitors. Our funding sources for the project are varied and include historic and new market tax credits, as well as a generous Community Preservation Act from the City of Boston, for which we are very grateful. While these programs support us at the development level, eliminating the burden of securing a liquor license would help to broaden the field of prospective restaurant tenants and strengthen our project at the operational level. It would allow us to provide the new restaurant tenant with the ability to more securely launch their venture, thus helping to ensure the long-term stability of the entire Speedway project. We are very grateful for the opportunity through this petition to continue the public and private partnership to restore the Speedway back to the community. Through the leadership of Representative Moran and Councilor Siomo, this state and city partnership will help to make the Speedway a success and will enliven a long-dormant resource that has intrigued and challenged all of us for years. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak today, and thank you for your consideration of this request.
Thank you very much, Kara, for the background on the Charles River Speedway project and also the public process by which you were selected by the DCR. Can you just maybe briefly explain what other community stakeholders have been involved to date?
Sure. Sure, we've been working with the community since we became involved, working closely with the Allston-Brighton Historical Society, the Allston Civic Association, the Allston-Brighton Improvement Association. We've had a number of community meetings, all attended with much encouragement for our development plan. And so we've had the benefit of a good relationship with the community.
That's great. And when do you anticipate work beginning on the site?
So we actually just this morning finished erecting fencing around the site to secure it, and we're anticipating starting construction this fall, hopefully in the beginning of October.
Great. And then, and what type of restaurant you indicated it was? I know you have going to be probably the focus is going to be on the courtyard, but
right.
What type of restaurant, and in which building will the liquor license be assigned to? If you look at the footprint.
Right. Right. So the restaurant will be located within what's referred to as Building H on your site plan.
Building H, okay.
Right, which was the former MDC police station.
Okay.
And so we're looking for preferably a local operator, somebody that that is looking to make a foothold in this new exciting neighborhood.
Okay.
And something that will be able to spill out into the courtyard and encourage, interaction.
And so folks that are in the restaurant can go out to the courtyard, or there may be outdoor seating in the courtyard. That'll be part of the restaurant, or will that be part of the cafe?
So the courtyard will be, portions of the courtyard will be designated to the tap room.
Gotcha.
And the idea is hopefully that people can move in and out of these different locations. People will be eating in the restaurant, but be able to, after dinner, come out and enjoy the activities and opportunities that are in the courtyard.
That's great. And then just obviously the need for the liquor license in terms of the project and the cost.
Right.
And what, could you explain
So we see it really as an economic development incentive tool to allow us to be able to attract a good quality restaurant vendor without the burden of having them have to apply for and pay for a conventional liquor license. This really gives us a strong place from which to recruit tenants and also to allow them to succeed.
Right. And I'm sure you've worked this out with the civic associations, but is there a seating capacity that you envision or a?
We do have those numbers. Our plan is based on those. I don't know that number offhand at the top of my head, but within building codes, we're meeting.
Great.
We actually have a building permit issued from the Commonwealth at this
Okay,
point, so
great. We've also
then-
been joined by my colleague, City Councilor at Large, Anissa Asabi George. Chair recognizes the lead sponsor, Councilor Siomo.
Thank you, and as you alluded to in your questioning, the RFP was 2013. Here we are 6 years later. It has been a very good, open, transparent process within the community, and everybody's actually excited to see this be transformed over the next, that's my question. How long will the build-out be, do you think, Kara?
we anticipate about a 12-month build-out,
Great.
so just in time for Oktoberfest.
Total square footage, if I may
Yeah,
interject,
sure.
total square footage of all of the buildings?
Full site is about 22,000 square feet.
And then are they all coming out of the ground at the same time, if you will, or are you going to do one building at a time?
No, we're planning to open all
Great.
it's technically 6 connected buildings and 1 separate building. There's a garage space at the rear of the site that will be used for events. But yes, we'll launch all at once.
Awesome.
Are you still looking for just one tenant to take the whole space, the restaurant, the event room?
So we actually have, I'm not at liberty to announce it yet, but we do have a tap room tenant that will take buildings C and D on your diagram.
Okay.
And we envision that there'll be a separate restaurant operator. And actually, there may be a connection between the event operator and the restaurant in terms of a catering relationship, but that's yet to
Right.
be
Okay.
ironed out.
Would you anticipate needing another liquor license then if the restaurant didn't decide to partner with the tap room? Just curious how that would work.
So the way we've been planning for the tap room would be that they would get their own,
Beer
they
and
would do
wine.
their own tap, like a farmer, I believe it's called a farmer brewer
Farmer brewer
license.
license.
Right,
So that they would
gotcha.
go through that process on their own, and
Okay.
that we would be helping the restaurant tenant.
And so it seems like you have one possible tenant right now?
We're very close to signing the lease with
Oh,
the
great.
taproom tenant,
Great.
hopefully by the end of the month.
Great.
Excellent. Well, again, I think the whole community is very anxious to get this going. It's been, like I said before the hearing, my entire life a blighted site, and the partnership with with DCR, the city, and the Architectural Heritage Foundation, I think, is a solid one, and will serve our neighborhood very well. And look forward to working with you over the next
great.
months to see it come to fruition. Thanks. Thanks, Mr.
Thank you,
Chair.
Councilor Siomo. Any comments or questions at this time, Councilor
Thank you,
Sapir?
Chair.
Thank you, waiving. Any questions of us, Kara, while you have us?
I can-
I, just again to say thank you for this opportunity.
So
and-
just to let you know, we have our next council meeting on August 21st. I'll present it for passage with the chair's cooperation, and hopefully we'll take it from there, get it to the mayor, and move it back up to the State House.
Great.
Great.
Great, thank you
Nice
so
evening.
much.
Thank you,
We're so
Kara.
excited.
Thank you.
And I
So
see
Yeah.
members of the public that are here. If anyone wishes to offer public testimony, may do so now or forever hold your peace, seeing and hearing no desire for any additional public testimony with respect to docket 1122, an act authorizing the City of Boston to grant 1 additional license for the sale of alcoholic beverages to be drunk on the premise with respect to the Charles River Speedway Administration Building. The Committee on Government Operations is adjourned. Thank you.